What's going on, everybody? So in this video, we are going to be covering what's going on in the NFT markets. Now, before we go ahead and get started, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And let's go ahead and dive right in. So diving into the markets, over the past day, Ethereum actually touched almost $1,000, that 1.08. And then now it kind of pumped back up to the 1.1. As before, we said a couple days ago where, the hacker of FTX who took all the Ethereum, swapped out the Ethereum and basically dumped it on the market, which did cause like somewhat of a dip, right? Which is kind of scary that one person can actually make such an impact on the market. But it seems like people are still buying ETH even when it dips. So people still do believe in crypto, which is overall great. But besides that, everything is for the most part moving sideways. Bitcoin at 16K. And we're kind of getting in that period where things are kind of fearful, right? So if you go on YouTube and stuff and you listen to the news, there's always these interviews of like, is Bitcoin going to zero, right? Keep that in mind, not telling you to buy, and do your own research. Now we're going to get into the projects right now. If we go on Opensea and we see, which projects are getting the most volume, obviously it's going to be Valhalla. If you've been watching this channel, we are no stranger to Valhalla, where we actually did an interview with Alex, the CEO. And right now they are still minting. So it's going to be a 10K collection. Not everyone has minted because I believe there's like a 24-hour period or something like that. And then 1,000 of the supply will be used for like auction over time. The floor looks kind of healthy, right? I think it peaked at like 1 ETH. Now it's at like 0.72. You definitely see a lot of whale support sweeping this project. It's interesting because, for a project, really you only need like a few thousand people to really believe in you in order to like completely mint out the project. So something to keep that in mind, right? If you are starting a project right now, you're thinking like, how do I get so much attention? Well, you don't really need that much attention. You just need a few thousand people to really like what you're doing, and you will be good to go. Congratulations once again on VAL for the successful mint. And let's go ahead and move into other news. Now, when we're going into Magic Eden, which is one of the more popular marketplaces, especially on the Solana side, they're going to be expanding onto Polygon, right? So Polygon actually has been killing it recently with the business development. They have been working with all the large brands. The large brands, they like the fact that Polygon's built on top of Ethereum. They like the fact that it's fast, it's cheap, and stuff like that. It's not the most intuitive. It's not the best to use. I've used it before, but it does work. Magic Eden is going to start building with Polygon, and hopefully in the future, you're going to be able to buy and sell Polygon NFTs on Magic Eden easily, right? We're not going to really know which layer 1 is going to be the one that makes it, which layer 2 is going to be the one that makes it. It's literally like things can change so quickly. So for Magic Eden to be like, hey, we don't know which one's going to succeed, so let's work with everybody. Definitely understand that strategy. Next piece of news that we have to cover is that Mattel is going to be launching its own digital collectibles marketplace with the Hot Wheels Series 4 debut on the website creations.mattel.com. This is where you're going to be able to check out, they actually did market it as NFTs. It's pretty much the same thing they've been doing before, where people collect these Hot Wheels and then they're just kind of selling the same thing, but as a digital collectible. On March 2023, holders of Series 4 Premium and the NFT H, they will receive a token in their Mattel Creation wallet, and they can redeem it for a physical diecast version of the car. That's pretty cool, right? You get the NFT and you get the car. So I feel like as long as the price for the car and everything is fair for the audience and they get a free NFT with it, that makes sense, right? Because they can constantly sell new cars every season like they already do, and then they just attach an NFT to it and say like, hey, you get an NFT and a car at the same time. And if people are willing to pay for this toy car already as a collectible, and there's a lot of people that wait in line for this and they collect it and stuff like that, they have like hundreds or thousands of cars, so it's already a market that works and kids love it too, then why not just get a digital collectible as the more younger generation is getting more used to buying Fortnite skins and stuff like that. So it's obviously a natural move, right? So if anyone says like, oh, NFTs are dead, well, here's some mainstream examples of companies implementing NFTs and naturally doing what they already do, but adding that NFT element on top. Not all NFTs have to be like this social club where it's like a Rolex and it's a flex. Like, this is just a digital car and you get a toy, right? That really is the future of NFTs, where they make it something for everyone. Now, speaking of other projects, Adam Bomb Squad, which is an NFT project that launched about a year ago, I believe. Yeah, I remember I did buy one in the beginning of my NFT journey. So they're going to be launching another NFT called Badam Bomb Squad, where they're using the other character, like the more thug-like character that looks like this guy over here, and actually already minted, right? So there's going to be like 5,000 supply, and then some people who have Adam Bomb Squad get some for free. There's certain rules to it, and some people have to mint it for 0.25 ETH, right? Which is not too bad. It's very unclear, like, what's the difference between the Adam Bomb Squad and the Badam Bomb Squad? Is it just a collectible? Do you get like a free t-shirt? I think you do get free t-shirts and things like that. For me, at least, it's not really clear why this should exist and why a second collection needs to exist. And I kind of did read the website, but it didn't really really give me a clear reason for why it should exist. So I feel like, if they keep launching collections again and again and again, I think eventually the market will get exhausted of it unless there's a reason for why each collection should exist and how it all comes together. Or if they're just selling it as digital collectibles and somehow they can create demand for these digital collectibles that, let's say, don't have much utility besides, getting more NFTs or maybe like a t-shirt or a discount. I think some of the t-shirts do get royalties, but I'm not sure exactly how successful that is. And it's only certain NFTs that will get the royalty. So it's actually not that much relative to how much they make from their normal Web2 business. So I wish there was more clarity on this. I wish the website was done in a way where everybody can understand, but hey, there's definitely more to it. But I'm just saying that from a marketing perspective and a communication standpoint, it's actually not very clear. So I hold Adam Bomb Squad. I'm not trying to fight it or anything. So if you don't get mad at me and stuff like that, I'm just trying to be as honest as possible. All right, next piece of news that we have is that Macy's launches a parade metaverse experience to invite fans to raise funds. Looking at this is actually kind of weird because, well, one, it's cool that Macy's is doing something in the NFTs. That's a big win for the space. So this is going to be launching on Cyber, which is kind of like an NFT gallery. In my opinion, when I look at that, it's more of an experimental thing. Probably doesn't cost too much money to like create an experience on Cyber. They have the assets and stuff already, and people can go around and look inside what's going on. They can see different NFTs in there. But the main reason I want to bring this up is because large corporation like Macy's is actually looking into NFTs, and maybe this is not the most like Web3 native thing that they can do, but hey, it's something, it's a test, people can check it out. It's very lighthearted, they're not selling anything. That is not a bad way for a company to learn more about Web3, to approach it the right way. Speaking of other Web2 companies, we're going to talk about Porsche. This website called nft.porsche.com, so it's got to be real because it has the Porsche.com domain. When I first looked at it, I wasn't sure if it was real. They're going to be launching an NFT somewhere, somehow, right? And so on the website itself, there's not too much information on it. And on Twitter, their handle is ETH_Porsche. Again, not too much information. So, they tweeted from the official Porsche account, probably just to be like, hey guys, like this is actually legit, it's real. It's cool that they're doing that cryptic messaging. I think whoever's handling their NFT side, like they understand Web3, but like what is it going to be? I don't know. And I will say, the brands who are entering Web3 who already have a Web2 brand like Porsche, I think the advantage for them is that because they have such a large brand, it's easy for them to sell NFTs because they just attach your brand to anything and people will buy it, right? But the thing I actually noticed is that a lot of these brands who are like Web2 brands, maybe they hire an agency to do like the Web3 stuff. Usually whatever the Web3 stuff is not that strong because, the agency kind of relies on the branding of that company to actually sell it, not necessarily because they built a Web3 community. I think they could do a much better job if they relied less on their brand to carry it, but more on community building. So that's just something to keep in mind when you think about these things. Don't just buy something just because somebody slapped their name on it, right? Because I've seen many different projects that have done that in the past and then just ends up going to zero. I'm not saying this will go to zero. I'm just saying in general, but that's just a thought that I personally had. So just because someone has a famous artist or a big brand, it doesn't mean the project will be successful. It's a whole different game when you're talking about Web3. Same fundamentals, but it's a different game. And so with that said, that is everything that we got to cover for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at Patrick Dang, where I'm on this thread challenge, basically dropping a fire thread pretty much almost every day. So if you want to follow that and see what I'm thinking about the NFT space, follow me at Patrick Dang, and I will see you in the next one.